Jordan. A spectacular move.
Be clever.
Bring it home, Kobe, baby. Oh, he came up behind him like a librarian. He never heard him.
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen.
G'day guys, welcome back to the Casual Fan Experience. I'm here with the two lads today. Lukey, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, obviously, pretty big day in the NBA. It's all over, so I'm a little bit sad, but yeah, we'll get right into it.
Absolutely, mate. And Tommy, how about yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. A little bit cold on a nice brisk night, but
Yep.
I've got a cup of tea and about to talk some ball with the lads.
Lovely. Not much better. Well, let's just get straight
How
into it,
about you,
boys.
Pat?
I'm good, man. I'm good, thanks. Yeah. As you said, similar.
Yeah.
Disappointed that the season's over, but we've got the Olympics coming up and
Yeah,
we've got Summer League and a few other things, so there'll be plenty to watch. So
NBA draft will be good.
WNBA, so I'll be there. I'll be there, one Australian viewer. Someone's got to
I'll be
watch it.
0.5.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
let's just jump straight into it. I think let's start off. I'd like to start off from the Dallas Mavericks side and like what we saw, I guess, from them and like what I guess their next steps look like. Because obviously they came up short. I think they had a bit of it probably wasn't a Cinderella run because I think most series we looked at them going, yeah, look, there's ways they can win this pretty comfortably. And we sort of knew that. But in the same token, I'm not sure we were ever fully convinced that they were on the Celtics level.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch the gameplay, they never were.
Yeah, and so
Unfortunately.
I'm just curious as to, I guess, what your guys' thoughts are and what their next step would be if in a dream scenario.
As far as like them being like legit throughout the playoffs, I was probably one of the people that was more high on them coming into the playoffs. Like I thought they were one of those teams that could, challenge like a Denver Nuggets. But then again, I thought if they versed them, they're probably going to lose. But like I thought they were on that sort of level and couldn't make a run like that. But as far as next step, not gonna lie, they don't have like a ton of options for like their next step because they basically traded almost all of their tradable first round picks for Kyrie, PJ Washington, and Daniel Gafford. Like I think they also traded one to get away Grant Williams as well.
Yeah.
That was the PJ trade, so maybe it was 2 first round picks. Can't remember. But yeah, so they have traded a lot of their picks, and as far as that goes, they're pretty capped out with a lot of assets that they can trade. So I'm a little bit worried that they may have reached their ceiling. And like it is good because they are pretty young. Like Lively is a rookie. He's got so far to go. I think his potential could I think he's got Miles Turner plus potential. Potentially, let's see if that jump shot comes around. But yeah, I think while they're young they do some good things, but like Kyrie's not getting any younger. So I think as far as next step, I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll figure it out. And when you have someone like Luka, he'll find a way. So
I agree with you, Luke. I think they need that another option. Like they've got Kyrie and Luka, but then they just swing at the ball and it's like, oh, PJ, Kleber, someone else is taking the shot.
Yeah. None of those boys are really no one really creating any offense.
No,
at all
on
in
the
those two boys, are they?
Celtics, you got Tatum, all of these blokes that can make a shot, can create a shot. If it's in their hands, you're more likely to expect it to go in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just see that. Like they just dominated.
I think you're spot on, Coops. A consistent third option for the Mavs would be like, and it doesn't need to be like a 20-point per game scorer because they've got a 20-point and a 30-point per game scorer on their team. They just need someone that's going to consistently give them 15. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
give them
buckets. I'll just quickly go. The person that I was kind of thinking, like in the mold, obviously I don't think they can do it this offseason. I don't think it's possible. But a guy like Malik Monk is like someone who I think would just be like a perfect player, like off the bench for them, who's just like someone that can give them like a bit of extra scoring punch, a bit of extra playmaking off that bench kind of thing. When Kyrie and Luka aren't quite making it work, but I'm not really sure.
I don't necessarily hate their bench. I think they've got some interesting pieces there, and I actually think Hardy could be a good piece if he can take the right steps.
Yeah.
And he loves to shoot. Like he shoots the ball every time he touches it. So, but I think maybe a Derrick Jones Jr. small upgrade if you could get one. For someone who can just shoot a little bit better. I think that's the biggest thing. Is it because and I think PJ Washington, if he can take the right steps under, now that he's in a functioning organization rather than Charlotte,
Yeah.
could take some
Yeah.
interesting steps forward as like one of those sort of glue guys that can play a bunch of positions. And I've always been a big PJ fan. I think he's a pretty good player. So and I think the Derek Lively leap is a big one as well. I think that could set them off. And they need to probably move
Yeah.
on from a couple of guys. They need to move on from Tim Hardaway and Maxi Kleber. I think pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they need to do that
definitely.
too.
Every
Yeah.
time
Like-
Yeah,
Maxi Kleber
Maxi.
touched the ball, I was like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, especially this whole playoffs. Apparently he was injured, but I mean, you're out there and he didn't look good. So, and yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr. had one quarter. I genuinely don't think he'd have shot for the rest of the series.
Crazy, yeah.
Or maybe even the rest of the playoffs. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I think they just need that one other guy. Wouldn't say like a guard. Like I don't see them really targeting, say like a Josh Giddey or a Klay Thompson. I don't think that'll do much for him.
is like a guy like DeMar DeRozan an option? Because like I don't know if he come on the low.
I think it has to be
like,
someone.
I don't know what
the
the salary cap-
defense though.
Yeah, I think it
the
has to be someone
defense.
defensively.
That's what I
minded
mean.
more than anything else.
Yeah.
Even if they're only like a 35% shooter, like from deep, I don't think they need any off the dribble creation at all. I think like you've got Luka and you've got Kyrie, and then you've got
Yeah.
probably two other guys in Jaden Hardy and even Dade Exum who can kind of create their own shot a little bit. And then you've got some guys that can run in transition and catch lobs and different things. So I don't necessarily think like an off the dribble scorer is what they need, but they need defense. Like it was glaring in this series in particular that their defense just wasn't up to it. Because even when like the one game they played elite defense, they won, but then every other game there was just too many deficiencies, particularly around Luka.
Even
Yeah,
Luka
I mean-
should target like Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah, okay.
That'd be sick. Like healthy Jonathan Isaac, be sick.
Yeah. I will say one thing about the Mavs. They are like such a new team. Like they were literally
Yeah.
constructed at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Like they built their team, like their complete team at the trade deadline and completely flipped their identity. Like they turned into one of the best. They did actually turn into one of the better defending
Yeah.
teams. Like they were a top 5 defensive team come the rest of the season. Obviously, the Boston Celtics are a different monster.
Well,
and
and
that
it
shows.
changes in the playoffs as well when like teams get
100%. Yeah.
seven games to consistently hunt somebody.
Yeah, I mean they were still really, really good defensively the whole playoffs. So I think
Yeah.
Boston just found a way to expose it because they have so many
Yeah,
weapons. I just think
yeah, that's
think
fair.
Boston were that good.
They were.
Um,
Yeah, let's not.
I
Yeah,
think-
we'll get to that. We will get to them. Like we won't undersell
Yeah,
their series.
but it's definitely not all doom and gloom. They
No.
don't. I don't think they need anything too crazy at all. And I could easily see them doing it again next year.
Yeah,
You know, who knows? But like I definitely think they've got like they're probably not at their fullest potential. They could have played better, 100%.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got they've got a
Yeah.
top 3 player in the league in Luka. Like you've got that. You've got that, and you're surrounding
Exactly.
with good pieces and good things going to happen.
Get them
Mm,
the OG
exactly
and
right.
Moby.
Oh, I mean, OG would just be perfect. There's just no way for them to get him, but it would be absolutely
Bro,
perfect.
OG is ridiculous because like you can literally say that about any team.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't
Say
know.
a team,
I don't
OJ
think there's any
works. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, let's move on to the Celtics. Like cracker of a whole playoffs for them, really. Like 16-3.
Yeah.
Never looked in trouble. Like never really looked
No.
like it was ever going to be a problem. And obviously, a lot of series they were somewhat tipped against. I don't think they were ever super tipped against, but I think that was just sort of people overthinking that how good they'd been all year.
Mm.
I mean, they've got all their guys. I believe I saw everything. Every player on their team is under contract for next year, so they can just run it back.
Yeah.
which
run it
is pretty
back.
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm.
What do we think? I guess first and foremost, what do we think of the Finals MVP decision? Which is obviously Jaylen Brown won it.
He was the most
You get
consistent.
first
but
goods.
he was the most consistent, but like I would have loved it. Yeah, as you said, if Drew won it.
Yeah, I was big on
mad
Drew winning it. He
defense.
was just like, but I got Jaylen Brown. Like he at times kept them in games, or like he brought them back through games as well. And defensively, he was elite all series. Like he was super locked in as well.
Mm.
So it was good to see that
Yeah.
rewarded. I think. I can also see I got Jason Tatum, but I think he's like 30% from the field definitely cost him. Because it
Yeah.
definitely just
Mm.
even just watching him at times, it looked like he was just missing shot after shot after shot. Which I mean, at times he was.
And shots that he
yeah.
would normally make. too.
Yeah, yeah, and I think he was unselfish early in the series, and that obviously hurts his chances, but I think it obviously improved the Celtics' chances of actually winning the thing. So
Yeah, see, when I first saw it, I originally thought it was going to be Tatum for sure. I thought they
Yeah.
were going to go with Tatum, like they were just going to go, probably the less controversial option, the best player on the team, whatever.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think him and Jalen Brown were probably on par. I don't think Jalen Brown was like stellar. I don't think he was incredible. Like I don't think he's.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think I think Tatum played better defense that series. I think Tatum was a better playmaker that series. I think Tatum's
Yeah.
defense was actually pretty underrated that series. Obviously, he didn't get the shot to fall, but Jalen Brown had games like that too. And Tatum did have a couple 30 pieces in there. So I don't know. I would have gone Tatum over Brown, but I probably also would have loved to see Drew Holiday over either.
Yeah. I would have loved to see Drew Holiday.
Just because about
I think when you you look at the defense that they two played, you got to look at who they were defending as well. And Jalen Brown had the job on Luka for a very long portion of the series, more than probably anyone.
yeah.
And
Well, he also had a fair bit on Kyrie as well.
Well, exactly, yeah. But then you look at like what performances they had. He definitely, I think, did more than enough to sort of
which is fair. I'm not
put
mad at
himself
it,
ahead.
but
No.
like I think
Have we seen
the
the
thing I
votes
liked
yet?
with Tatum's defense, it was all Jalen Brown or Tatum, and I think it was like
except for
pretty
two.
close-ish.
I think 2 or 3. I did see it before actually. I'll probably find it. I think it was pretty. If I could spell, would help. I think it was largely Jalen Brown, except for 2 of them or something.
Yeah, okay.
So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 11 people voted. We've got 1. We got 4 for Tatum, so 7 for Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Drew didn't get
close.
any love, and Sam Hauser, who probably should have got a vote in there somewhere because he turned into the Human Torch.
Yeah. Half court Peyton Pritchard should have got some love, but
Bro,
yeah, whatever.
the fact that he did it twice is amazing. Like,
Bro, what about Derek White faceplant?
yeah, Derek White.
Yeah,
What about Jalen Brown? You ugly.
Yeah, man, you ugly. The comments all that were like, he's not even talking about the tooth, bro.
Yeah.
He's just ugly.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro. Poor Derek White, what a hooper though.
Yeah, bro.
But
yeah, it was a good-ish series. I wasn't super happy with it, but it was okay.
I just don't like seeing the Celtics win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. My
you want more than 5 games.
Question I wanted to come on here. Yeah, because that's what I was going to say.
And multiple blowouts.
Yeah, there's been 3 blowouts now?
Yeah, 3 out of 5 games.
3 out of 5. Yeah. Because I think a lot of the discourse on NBA Twitter and things like that is about how just crap these finals were and how shit they were. Like, I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, did you enjoy it?
I mean, I enjoy it all the time, but I watch every game, every second of pretty much every game that ever gets played. Like, I watch preseason, I watch Summer League, and during the off season, sometimes I used to simulate 2K games to watch something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so
he's a basketball crackhead.
Yeah, literally. Like, if I could inject it in my veins, I would. But like, I didn't. It certainly wasn't my favorite finals by any means. But I was excited to watch it because, like, another new champion. We were going to see someone who hadn't won one win it, like it was going to be like a Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, or Luka. So that added to it. And then we're going to see someone get a second ring, whether it be Kyrie or Drew, and then Al Horford, who I'm so happy he's won a ring. Like, I'm just ecstatic for him.
Bro, so many people are hating on Al Horford. I don't quite understand it.
So pumped for him to win a ring. So there were definitely storylines that I enjoyed, but I thought the overall presentation from the NBA was kind of shit, and it was a boring series. Like, as you said, 3 out of 5 blowouts. Like,
I just think, everyone knew who was going to win too.
Yeah,
it was sort of like, there's that hope. Like, everyone was hoping for it, but when you watch the game, it was just boring. Like, they held close, blowout, come back, blowout, come back, blowout. It was just like,
they handle business in that.
Really.
Yeah, I also don't love I don't think either of them have the most watchable styles of basketball as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think Boston. I think Boston changed their style of play a little bit in the finals, which made them more watchable. But they both chuck up a lot of threes. They need and then they don't swing the ball a lot. Like, I think Boston did it a lot better, which is probably why they separated themselves convincingly
Mm.
in the finals. And that a lot of that goes to Drew Holiday's movement constantly and Derek White's movement constantly off the ball as well.
Because yeah, Luca would just hold it for like 16 seconds. And
Yeah.
then do
and
something.
then
Yeah.
often we see, you know, Jason, and this is what they avoided this series a lot, was Jason Tatum would come up and isolate, and Jaylen Brown would come at the next position and isolate, and it's just like not a super watchable game of basketball. So I think that
No.
probably also
Yeah.
made it difficult. And they were two similar styles. It wasn't like we're going to see one team try and dominate the paint while the other one shoots. Or so I think that made it a bit of a harder watch. Not, but again, I didn't hate it. It just wasn't my favorite.
I think
Yeah.
that-
I
think
was gonna say. Oh yeah, you go, Coops. You go.
No, you go.
I was gonna say my biggest gripe was probably like just the presentation with the NBA. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of the commentary. I wasn't a fan of. I mean, Mike Breen's amazing, but like I wasn't a fan
always.
really of
Mm.
Doris Burke. JJ's okay, but like there's a difference between like JJ being like, oh yeah, they're running this play, they do this is 44%, rah. But then I just want to hear, Mama, there goes that man.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
yeah, facts.
Sometimes when I'm watching basketball, I don't really like care about all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
I do, and when I'm not watching basketball, that's when I dive into all those stats.
Yeah.
And I love all those stats and things like that. But sometimes when I'm watching the game, I just want to see good defense, just better offense.
Yeah,
like, and like, even
you want them 2K clips, bro. That's
that's what I mean, bro. Like stuff like that. It's just iconic, and I kind of miss that a little bit.
yeah.
But
Trying
I mean,
to,
as far as like there's so many ads, like
Yeah.
like just ads are ridiculous now.
and bro, from like if you're from Australia and you watch it on KO, it's impossible to watch.
Oh.
Like
Mm.
it's actually
Bro,
terrible,
isn't it? Yeah.
The same Jason Tatum ads constantly, which is fine. There's a start, right? But it's the same ad. Like you'll get it multiple times at the same ad break. Like I just want to like kill myself. Like my 3-year-old has them memorized. Like
Yeah.
she sits. I mean, she called him Jason Potato, but she's got it memorized.
Yeah, I mean, it was still pretty bad on League Pass, but it just went to like blue screen game.
Yeah, bro, and Kay doesn't say big sorry. Well, we write back like just play highlights or do literally anything.
Yeah.
Like it makes the
Yeah.
it makes the watching experience just terrible.
Yeah.
better. Yeah,
And
I was-
it's another thing as well. I wish they didn't have a week break in between
Yeah.
the conference finals and the finals. Like it kind of just killed the hype a bit. Like
I
it was
think if
like,
they're gonna do that, I think
handle
they should have like the awards as an awards ceremony in between. So like
yeah, I
have your
agree.
week break, but on like the Wednesday, get all the stars in that you
Yeah.
can get and have
like
like
the
a full,
Brownlow.
have a full award ceremony.
Bro, exactly like the Brownlow.
Yeah.
I think the Brownlow does it pretty well.
Yeah, and it would be sick.
With how
just
they
like-
market it.
And then you've got people keen and you're going into the playoffs, the finals, you know, and give them still a few days run up. So like if it's a late night or whatever, they're not like super, tired or whatever.
Yeah,
But I think that's how you do it. I think that's the key, because I think they did an awards thing a few years ago and they just kind of got away from it. Now they just kind of randomly announce it when they feel like it. It's just super weird.
Yeah.
I don't
You just
really-
get a notification from Woj.
yeah.
Like
But it doesn't
I mean the same.
But yeah, it doesn't do any. I mean, I always love a good notification from Woj, but it's like it doesn't feel the same as like watching them like go up and accept an award, and obviously,
Bro, like we
Yeah,
have
you-
iconic moments. From,
obviously Jokic won't
award
be there,
shows
so
like
they'll
that.
have Jokic won't be there, so they'll have to zoom in. While he's
Yeah.
they'll have to do a Zoom call with him while he's in his fucking horse ranch over in.
that's probably why
Yeah.
they haven't done it.
Yeah,
Because they're
yeah,
probably going to
he's just
set
like-
it up and
Yeah.
he's going to serve you.
They've gone. Oh, Jokic, we're gonna do an award ceremony. This year. No, I got horses.
Yeah, true. What I
Yeah.
was going to say too is I reckon seeing like the Celtics win, it like classifies as another super team. Might see
Yeah.
some more stars pair up too, like PG going to Philly.
Yeah, it could be interesting,
like,
man.
There's
It's,
some big moves happening.
Yeah, I mean Philly
The
have
Ronda Warriors.
Mm.
Steph the Lakers.
It's definitely, who knows? I'll become a Lakers fan if that happens.
Oh, Steph.
Damn, that's massive. That's a
Yes, it is.
huge call.
But yeah, I mean, it could be interesting to see what
Maybe.
happens. There's not I don't know how much movement there'll be this offseason. It's kind of one of those ones where there's like some rumblings, but nothing like no one's
Mm.
definite. Whereas like in years gone by, there's been like
Mm.
years where it's been like, oh, this person's definitely leaving. You know what I mean? But like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's kind of a bit of a weird one this year. It will be very interesting, and I think PG to the Sixers could be cool.
Yeah.
And they have heaps of caps. They'll have heaps of cap space because obviously, they're not like re-signing Tobias Harris.
Yeah, holy, imagine.
Oh, they better not.
And then like, just
Um,
give him another $38 million contract.
Oh, bruh. Nah, go Pistons. That's your job. Come on.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
give,
yeah.
give him an overpriced contract.
Give him the money.
Yep.
But
Um,
yeah, I think it'll be
yeah,
interesting.
you go.
I think there's definitely teams out there that will look to make big swings on people that are available. I mean, the Lakers will always be in the conversation. Not that we have anything to trade of real value, but
No.
they'll always pick up the phone. I think OKC will be
Mm.
interesting. I think because I think at some point they've got to move some of those picks, right? And I think this could be the off season. You know, get a little sign and trade with Josh Giddey and a few picks, and probably get something pretty valuable in return. And the
Yep.
big question is what's the go? I guess with Clay having scrubbed his IG of the Warriors stuff and unfollowing, and
Yeah. What do we think about that, Coops?
apparently rumors he recently followed
Oh.
Paolo Banchero. So
Yeah, look, I just say it was a good run come to an end. He wants too much money. We can't give it to him, so
yeah, that's
sometimes
fair.
you'll let it go.
Between him and
Yep.
Draymond and Steph paying some big dollars, so he's I mean
Yeah.
someone will pay him something silly probably. So
Yeah, and probably the Magic.
they tend to do that. Yeah, well the Magic are rumored, and I think they've got like 40 mil in cap space or something. So I'm sure he'd love to eat up a fair portion of that. So
Yeah.
and go hang out. He seems like the sort of guy that go hang out at Disneyland too, so that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Probably out and take his boat
Bring his
there.
dog. What's his dog's name? Rocco.
Rocco.
Rocco, big
Yeah.
Rocco, hey? They'd love it.
Yeah.
Where does
Like-
sorry, Tommy, you go.
No one's saying anything.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, where does the title now rank like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and even them as a duo overall in the league? Like, does it change their standing much? It has to a little
Oh,
bit.
the title's just
mean-
above the bubble ring.
Bubble free.
Bro. It was. Well, there's a real ring, so I don't know what you're talking about.
It's
Well, I said
physically,
just-
it's physically a
I said
real
just-
ring.
I said just above.
I mean, for me, I don't think it like it does change. I think obviously Jaylen Brown with the Finals MVP, like that definitely like moves him up, and you know he's probably pretty solid top 20. Jason Tatum is probably pretty solid top 10. But as far as like, you know, Tatum being a top 3 player in the world now, or Jaylen Brown being top 10, I don't really think it changes that much just because of the way the Celtics won. The
Mhm.
Celtics won because they genuinely had like 5 All-Stars and
Yeah.
like a good bench. Like they had, it was one of the biggest like team effort
that's
wins
fair.
like in recent finals. Like it was
Yeah.
just such a team win, like a contributions from everyone. Brad
Mhm.
Stevens could have won Finals MVP if you're asking me. But but yeah, so I don't think it actually affected. I don't think it affects their rankings too much. It does bump
Yeah.
them up and really solidify them, but I don't think it's that big of a deal as far as rankings
Fair
go.
enough. Yeah,
But
yeah.
as far as legacy goes, it's big. But as
Yeah.
far as current day rankings, I don't see that. I'm not going to put Jason Tatum top 5 now.
Okay.
Because he won a championship. But yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's fair.
And I'm
That's off-
assuming
Yeah, I bet the same.
I'm assuming current top 5 would be some variation of Jokic, Shea, Luca, Embiid, Giannis. And
Yeah.
that 5? Luca, Shea,
Yeah.
Giannis. Yeah, that would be the top 5 currently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
that's who I go.
In some
Yeah.
variation of that order.
Yeah,
Like
and I mean
LeBron-
Jason Tatum could well easily be just outside that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, I don't think it doesn't catapult him, and it doesn't catapult Jaylen Brown
Yeah.
up into some crazy rankings.
Yeah,
for
fair
me.
enough.
But I mean, amazing runs, legacy.
Yeah.
Like when we talk about them in 20 years, this will be brought this will be big. So things like that. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. I just was interested because yeah, like I was watching this thing before, and it was like they after this they were ranking like because Jason has 26 or whatever, so they're ranking like top players like
Yeah.
26 and under or whatever, and like some dude had like obviously a Celtic fan put him above Shea, and I was like, well, I was like,
Yeah.
suck my dick, but
Yeah.
yeah, so I was like interested
Didn't
to
have any
see
other All Stars.
they
Tatum
had
had 5. But...
yeah they had I think he had still had Luca at 1, and then had Tatum, Shea, and then he had Jamal Murray.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
he's a bit inconsistent. Never made an All Star game.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
I
bit of a weird
don't think so. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but yeah. Otherwise, guys, that's probably it for today. We've got to bit to look forward to in the off season. I'm sure we'll try and get some stuff out. And Lukey's traveling overseas, not too
Yeah.
long, so he's getting head
Yeah,
over to the US.
I will still be trying my best to get on podcasts if it is at all possible. But we'll have to obviously see how we go with
And
all that.
we've got
So,
up early for interviews before, so
we have too,
we've
so,
had some early ones.
yeah, but no, still lot to look forward to. I'm super keen for the NBA draft. I've actually been doing my research
Yeah, nice.
this year. I don't normally do my research. I just go into it blind. But
Yeah,
this
that's
year
good because I know nothing about it.
yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I just want basketball back now. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair, bro. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, boys, that's it for today. So peace out, and we'll see you
talk
soon.
now.
No, see you, boys.